So, what's up? What's up? Now, this story here that we about to pull up to comes out of Houston. And when I tell you, this comes from the pit of evilness. Like, people really do exist in this world that can sometimes be hazardous, the worst of the worst. I wish I never met you at your one of your most vulnerable moments, when you're not even thinking clearly, but you're thinking that this person has a compassionate heart, even because of the type of business. Just started hearing some rain, so it kind of threw me a little bit. Even because of the type of business that some people go into, you think, okay, this must be a character attribute where they have compassion. Please, sometimes people will sit up here and go in an avenue of business just so they can be exposed, let's say, to your personal information. There's all types of scams out here, and people is not caring whether you alive or you done went on to glory, glory, glory. So this pair here, who got this allegedly fictitious, fake, fraud, scam artist business, posing as funeral directors, took it upon themselves, like I said, all things alleged, just my opinion I'm giving you, but it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, to take advantage, to get these insurance policies, cash them in, forging names. Y'all get this. Like, there's another part to this video even that I'm gonna share with y'all. Matter of fact, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just say this. It's like, how do you even put this into words by just saying it, right? You know how when you touch the person that's done transition, and the you do just, temperature check. It's cold. Well, how about this? The temperature was warm. Where were they keeping the bodies? Now, some of the family members, they express they think possibly in abandoned homes. But let's roll to the video.
Garvin.
And I'm Daniela Guzman. No funeral, no death certificate, no ashes. Tonight, that is what some families say they are dealing with after losing their loved one.
And investigators say this man, Javon Major, posed as a funeral director. They believe there are more victims. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has more on the scheme, all new at 10.
The investigation started 8 months ago. Tonight, 2 people have been arrested, and victims are still demanding justice because they say in some cases their loved ones' bodies were bloated and dark when they should have been embalmed.
My son got him to come and take advantage of us. That's not right.
Anita Thomas is one.
I have never heard of anybody doing this, but this man needs to be buried under the jail.
Shunamis Hicks is another, both united in grief but caught in a scheme.
It turns my stomach because you're dealing with people at the most vulnerable time of their lives.
Investigators from Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Alan Rosen's office arrested 26-year-old Javon Major and 38-year-old Sandy Broussard, him for forgery and her for theft, after a tip from the Texas Funeral Commission. He posed as a licensed funeral director and mortician. Investigators say the pair forged signatures of beneficiaries and got life insurance money of dead people.
Funerals were supposed to take place, and there would be no funeral. Embalming was supposed to take place on some of these family members, and it didn't happen.
When I walked in and I looked at my son, his body was bloated. He was dark.
This victim says Major didn't embalm her son properly.
I had to run out to church because I couldn't deal with the smell.
And she still doesn't know if the ashes she's wearing are her own son's. In some cases, Rosen says Major would reach out to families.
When I say this man is a good talker, he can talk you down.
Claiming to be friends with the deceased. In others,
he got a suit on, he looking real nice. You know, he like, oh, this is my business card. Like, he got it all planned out just like a scammer does.
no matter how he did it, these alleged victims haven't been able to grieve appropriately and say he must be stopped.
I don't know, I cry. I can't believe it, and I just feel like if justice not served, then we've been failed.
Tonight, both Major and Broussard are out on bond, according to records, but the constable's office says this is an ongoing investigation and they want to hear from you if you may have been a victim.
People will sit up there sometimes and smile in your face all the time. They already got the plans together. They out here seeking whoever they may devour. They don't care. Posing to be somebody else will come up with line after line after line, because by the time you done told this story, you got to tell another story. The next story is going to equal another story to try to have it all planned out. But one thing I have seen with this life's journey, if it hasn't caught up with you immediately at that very moment, bad eventually catches up. It makes a turnaround to come back. Now, how much money was involved in doing all of these alleged things? Was it worth it? Is it ever really worth it? Maybe some people might say yes. Maybe some people might say no. Maybe some people, it's just I think, matter of fact, I really do believe some people have seeds planted in them when they just can't always shake bad, and it's just in them automatically. Like, it gives them a rush. Like, who can I take advantage of today? I was taken advantage of. It wasn't right. Or they may have learned how to do the right thing. And like I say, sometimes people will take on or go into certain professions, think about it, just to be around. Ooh, I hate to use this example, but it's so true. Underage persons. Sometimes people will take advantage to go into certain professions to be around elders, to take advantage of their personal information, their SSN, their identity, to run schemes, to prey. Sometimes the elderly or people who, need a little extra help, or a caregiver of some sort. It could be related to what type of medications that they may have. And you just never know. One of the alleged victims, they came together to speak, come forward. Are there more stories? Are there more possible victims that may have experienced this? We gotta shut this down. This so-called person that was posing as a funeral director was saying that he knew the pastor of the church, was saying that the funeral home itself was 2 hours away. You can't come there. But the lady who helps me, the assistant, or whoever she was posing to be, they would FaceTime. But you know what? Let's not forget, sometimes some of us have discernment of spirit. Sometimes some of us have a gut intuition. Sometimes some of our family members, close friends, people that we know, or just sometimes we might see a sign of something, but we might push it away and think, well, he's calling me mama. He's sounding reassuring. He's talking a good game. It happens. It happens sometimes to get swindled in. Then when they talk about, oh, I can include that. I can include this. Oh, let me include that. I won't even charge you nothing. I can do that. Yeah. I mean, one of the mothers went on to say, yeah, he started to call me mama. See, term of endearment. He was trying to cross that line of professionalism to make her feel comfortable. Like, we here at this business, this fictitious business that he was allegedly representing, are like family, in other words. They said he had it all set up with the pamphlets, brochures. He didn't have a website, but he would show them video See how the game is this serious, y'all? The game is this serious that people will come at you in any form of a direction just to deceit the mind, to offer you a delusion of sort. And this goes on and on and on. You know, in my time when I was coming up, people passing out business cards, business didn't exist. If they did have a form of a website, which they didn't, but you know, they would say, oh, it's MySpace, but that was acceptable. Oh, you know, check me out on Facebook, check me out on Instagram. We beyond that now. It's like, okay, what's your name? What you go by? You know, you guys to really dig in there, but at your lowest moment. And that's why I see now when I hear some people say, we got to be focused, go into situations with a clear mind and just be able to think if we can. But if somebody is saying to you, I'm not getting a good feeling about this, and that person is sometimes or a lot of times on point, please listen. I wasn't even planning on doing a video like this, but videos, or when it comes to scams, I have to speak out. That type of stuff, it bothers me. It bothers me that people just openly take advantage of people and think nothing of it. People will start these GoFundMes. They'll have these, you know, stories that sometimes don't exist. People will call you on the phone and say, this is about to happen, or this has happened, and now we need you to make this payment. This is the IRS. This is Social Security. This is the police department. On and on, trying to put fear in people. And don't you know, possibly when this man was dealing with this insurance policy, he was trying to make everything go by, like fast enough to cash in. But how you gonna sit up here and have a loved one's body? And the family member is mentioning that he had dirt on his face. Where did you pick the loved one up from? Then they're mentioning the smell. Just everything. What did he do to them people? The mother talking about, I don't even know if these is really the ashes. And sometimes I wonder that about the ones who do have a upright standing name. But I'm just saying, y'all, we just gotta do our best out here day by day. Every day is something that we have to contend with. But you know, it's good for us to come together, have these conversations, have these exchanges, because we got to talk about real life situations. Woo.